Knock on wood, we don't have any streaming problems today. And as I told him yesterday, it was just this really fun thing to talk about. And then to find out it didn't stream was a little like, oh. But, I guess the other part of it too is just taking a step back and realizing how lucky we are to have the technology that we do to be able to share this, all across the country every day. So, with that, I look forward to chatting with you folks today. And we got a wonderful little thing together to talk about, which is this next part of the story creation. And we're looking at how do we find better voices in our head. And it's interesting watching how, sometimes sermon topics, they're, we think about them way in advance. And sometimes it's just because a bunch of people have brought it up. And this is a topic a bunch of people have brought up. How do I get better voices in my head? These voices in my head are just giving me a complete run for my money. Sometimes, you'll hear those in New Church Live referred to as head bullies. That's courtesy of Curtis Childs, his phrase for them, head bullies. Itty bitty fill in the blank committee. You could also phrase them as that. But they're voices that don't make life a lot of fun because they can color it and they can color really our experience in very dramatic and sometimes sad ways. So I want to sort of come at that topic by looking at this part of the story of creation. And it's a simple piece here. And again, we're looking at creation as a metaphor, as an allegory for how we grow as humanity, as God turns our heart of stone into heart of flesh. I mean, that's just the basic process of life. So here we are. We're looking at this part here again. There's been a separation between light and dark. There's been a separation between the heavens and the earth, and now there's a separation between the land and sea. Then God said, "Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their various kinds." And it was so. The land produced vegetation, plants bearing seeds according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seeds in it according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good, and there was evening and there was morning the third day. Really beautiful concept there on the third day. So the land forms and then things start to grow. And I wanted to notice there, it was interesting reading through this, like noticing, the consistent reference to seeds there. That's really interesting to me. And let's take a look at what this could be in our life and how maybe it can get at finding better voices in our head. So we talked about the first time solid land appears. That's where we start to get aware what our best intentions are. And I can't stress that enough. I mean, that is the life of heaven is your best intentions growing through eternity, where you get to live more and more into what your best intentions are. And the advantage is that we all have them. The advantage is I've never met anyone who actually absolutely had no best intentions whatsoever. We may be asleep to it, we may ignore it, we may not pay attention to it. It may be dormant for a long time. It may be dormant actually through our physical natural life here. But I do believe everybody has a best intention in there. And our job maybe is to help each other uncover it. So when you get that best intention, what is it that starts to bear these seeds? Well, I think it's where we lean into that best intention. And that from that best intention, we start to see where our thoughts go. We start to see where our thoughts go. And those thoughts tend to be anchored on the other side in a specific action. So here's the best intention. Here's our thoughts, which we could call our wisdom, quote unquote. And then that starts to move towards useful service. That starts to move towards an actual way where this thing gets realized in a physical manifestation somehow. And that can look so many different ways. It was interesting last night. We had a great small group last night, and just hearing people's conversations, hearing their connections, and it just everybody brings their best intention to that kind of thing. I mean, it's pretty darn amazing. I've never been part of a small group, and I'm sure maybe there have been, but haven't been that I've been part of where somebody's real intention was to tear it apart. People come to it with the best intentions, and it really works. Like it really, really works. And then there's this beautiful manifestation of community on the other side. Last night, what somebody said was they said, "This all feels so real." I love that phrase. This all feels so real because there's so many parts of life that just don't, or they appear like reality, but they're really not reality. I think of things like the stock market, and nothing against the stock market. That's where our retirement is. But like what's more real? A small group connection, or stock markets and digits whirring through cyberspace. I don't know. You you get to make that call, but I do find there's reality there, and folks, that's where I think we find better voices in our heads when we can really just relax a bit into those best intentions and think, okay, so what's my best intention today? And then what does it look like? What are the thoughts that start to form around it? And then where does it land someplace active? And boy, that just is a totally different script. It's a totally different script, and it's a much healthier script. It's a much better script, and it's one where we start to see things that produce seeds. And the advantage of the seeds part is that the seeds are not about this really manicured kind of planting as we would do it. The seeds are about being scattered. We have no idea where that goes. We're coming from our best intentions, but I'm here to tell you as a pastor, it goes somewhere, and it will always go somewhere good. So that's my thought for you folks today. I hope that makes a lot of sense. May you have a great day scattering seeds and looking at your best intentions and seeing how your best intentions can take root and bear seed and all of those things. And yeah, just it's a fun one. It's a fun one to think about, and a pretty subtly revolutionary part of Christian New Church theology. That idea that God speaks to us through our very best intentions. And we all have that. You want to hear God's voice? Think about what your best intentions on your heart are, and you'll hear it pretty clearly. So that's the thought for today, friends. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little meditation. After the meditation, do a prayer. After the prayer, do a blessing. And after that, we're going to say hello to all our fine friends who have gathered with us here today. If you're interested in leaving a comment, the best place to leave that is New Church Live's Facebook page. You can go on Facebook and type in New Church Live, and we'll come right up. If you're not watching it, I know we have a number of other platforms, but if you want to comment, that's probably the best place to offer a comment. It's one I will respond to today. So with that, friends, let's listen to the bell and get ourselves relaxed here. So let's all get a big breath. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends. So again, great to have you joining me this morning. And if you would like to leave a comment, you are more than welcome to do that. And if you could do it on New Church Live's Facebook page, that would be most helpful. Yep, you can leave it there. And again, if you're leaving comments later in the day, that is totally fine as well. We will get to them and respond as quickly as we can. Another little thing is this thing loads. If any of you are interested in helping out with our Valentine's Day drive, you can do that either if you're local or you're not. You can also participate. We're working to support families with cancer with Valentine's Day care packages. You can find more of that on our homepage, www.newchurchlive.tv. All right, so just about have it all loaded up here. Come on, Nelly. All right, lots of comments here today. All right. So, saying hi to you folks. Bonnie, good morning to you. Snowing in Colorado. It's like 40 degrees and foggy here. It's going to be a mud fest here coming up soon. Mike writes, getting nearly a foot of snow today in the Metro Detroit area. Yeah, we were looking at that big swath going across west of here. I guess we got ours last week. You get yours this week. Amy, Amy, it is so good to be able to see you joining us this morning, and hope you and your family are doing well. Brandon, my buddy, good to see you, buddy. Thank you for joining us. Jen, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well with that wonderful family of yours. Sherry, raining in Tennessee, no snow. Oh, I got to get to Tennessee. Sherry, I just hear so many wonderful things about that particular state. Gene writes, an Oriental saying reminds us we can't control if a bird lands on our head, but it's our our choice whether or not to let it build a nest there. Gene, that's really good. I thought you were going to say it's our choice whether it gets to poop on our head or not, but you're saying is much better and one I could actually use in church. So that's good. I love the idea, right? What thoughts are we going to entertain? And I love that idea that we're kind of entertaining the thoughts. We're kind of putting on a show for our crazy thoughts, which I thought was interesting. Yeah, Mary, good morning. Grateful connections that reroute me from my head bullies. It's so true. And it's like the head bully stuff is inevitable. And it's not about, more and more I'm convinced it's not about fighting it. It's about how do we just find a different way? And because people want to fight it, they want to say, how do I fight it when those come up? And I don't know. I haven't had much luck with that. I think the best thing we can do is immerse ourselves in a different neighborhood, so to speak. Susan writes, really need to hear this today. The head bullies were really beating up on me this morning. I get that. And and it's just interesting, Susan, watching, like, people instantly know when we talk about it. I mean, I've said this in here a bunch of times. It was really an aha over the past year to note that I could ask anyone the question, what voice do you most want to get rid of in your head? And everybody has an answer, which is a little, that's a little sobering, actually. All right. Sherry writes, you're welcome in Tennessee anytime our door is open. I may well take you up on that. We definitely have some congregants down there, and I got a brother-in-law down that way too. And Kim closes with, good morning, all. So agree with that. So, folks, just wishing you all the best. Wishing you have a blessed day. Just try as best you can. Lean into those best intentions. Just what are they for the day? Keep it small. If your best intention is to save the world, that's probably not where you want to start. Keep it small. See where those thoughts go. See how those thoughts pull you to action. That's how love, wisdom, and use functions. So that's it, friends. Wishing you all the best. God bless. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.